Hi there, I'm Tessa from Tales from Outside the Classroom, and today we're going to talk about choosing the right keyword to support your letter sound instruction. Finding the right keyword to use as a reference for supporting students as they are learning letter sounds is very important. You might be thinking you can just use any word that begins with that letter. And in some cases, you are right. We can teach students the sound for B is connected to ball or bat or boy. And no matter which one of those that we teach, students will be successful with that letter sound. However, there are many letters that we need to be very intentional with. Let's look at why. Here we have a keyword reference chart with keywords I have used with my students. Many of them are common and are ones you would expect in many different letter sound sets. But many of them are also very intentional. So let's look at a few of them and why. First on this, you will see that we have a cat for C and a girl for G. These are intentional because we want to make sure we are teaching that K and G sound respectively. You might be surprised, I have seen a giraffe frequently used for that G sound, and that's confusing for students. If we want our youngest kiddos to learn that the sound we associate with G is G and not J, we need to be consistent in presenting them words that begin with G, like gift and girl. Ball, cat, and dog are all very common, as is fish. But let's take a look at that letter E. Letter E can be confusing for some students or can cause confusion depending on the sound that comes next in the word we are using. For example, you might have seen the word envelope or elephant used to teach the letter sound E. But that is difficult for many kids because the first sound they then hear in that word is the name of the letter L or the letter N. When we say the names of the letters L, M, and N, we actually begin with an E. If we want our students to be successful in learning the short vowel sound for the letter E, we need to be sure we are teaching them keywords that don't have an L, M, or N next. I like to use the word edge. I also like to use the word edge because it connects with the articulatory gesture I use to support my kids that have a difficult time learning vowel sounds. I have a quick short on using articulatory gestures I will link below. Let's keep looking at other letters. While we talked about not using L, M, and N as the second letter in sounds with the letter E, with an I have in. The person is in the tent. There are other keywords that we can use, like igloo. I have stayed away from igloo intentionally for other purposes. However, I do want to know I have seen ice cream frequently. We don't want our youngest kiddos to be learning a keyword for I that does not include the short I sound. For J, we have jam or jelly, and for K, we have king. Moving on to the rest of our letters, let's look at some more common and perhaps uncommon keywords. For the letter O, we have on. The ant is on the log. So again, we want that ah to be clear before that N. I personally find when we have in and on together, it helps students focus on that variance between that I sound and the ah sound. For Q, we have a queen. W, we have a web. And Y, we have a yam. Let's take a quick second to talk about that letter sound for X. X is another one that I have commonly seen inappropriate keywords used to teach. We need our students to learn that for the letter X, we give two sounds. Those two sounds are co-articulated together. X. No words in English begin with those sounds. When we give students keywords for things like X-ray or xylophone, we are teaching them the name of that letter X because that is how we articulate that letter at the beginning of those words. I think it is much more important that we teach students the x instead of x, and we use x as a final sound in a word. So for that reason, I teach my students with box. Now, we absolutely have to teach our students that they are looking for that keyword at the end of the word instead of at the beginning, like all of the rest of the words presented here. But I think it's more important that we teach our students the correct letter sound for that word rather than giving an X at the beginning of the word. You might think this is a pretty simple or very well-known concept. However, letter sound keywords have prevented me from purchasing many materials, both at teacher stores, on TPT stores, or with insets at any old store where I can't see what is inside of it. So whether you are shopping for materials online or in person, keep the appropriate keywords in the back of your mind as you shop, and don't buy things if you can't see what the keywords are that are connected with those letter sounds. I hope this video has given you a couple things to think about. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to subscribe below. Till next time.